Oh boy! So you think by 2022 we'll be in the new Great Depression? Is that a fair term?
Yeah.
Tell me about the new Great Depression.
Okay, this is really strange kind of a depression. My data sets, so my data sets were constructed on a set theoretic mathematic understanding, and I used fuzzy inclusion techniques for the data sets in order to get the temporal markers to basically bubble to the surface. And the temporal markers have a tendency to associate with each other over time as the data accrued, and we get to this point where what I always termed as the introduction, the period of time that we would transition into sci-fi world, was going to be extremely chaotic. Some of that chaos would influence, say, for the price of metals, it would influence the price of cryptos and so on. And it would be happening in a period of time when there was going to be clearly signs of food issues, food and supply issues of all kinds, supply chain issues of all kinds, and also basically an admission of a great global depression.
So, best advice, buy all the stuff you can, the stuff you think you need with your fiat currency now. Don't hold back.
Okay, and there's a separate issue there as well, Greg, okay, because this is the new Soviet system, right? And so I remember going to Russia as a kid and on a tourism, basically. And we went to Moscow, and you'd go around there and you'd see the long lines for people queuing up to buy stuff. And that's where we're at now. So the separate issue is valuations and numerics aside, and the failure of the fiat currencies aside, there's also the issue of supply chain disruption and elimination as part of this new greatest depression.
Oh boy.
So it may not be there to buy, basically, because we're entering into a period of time that may extend 10 to 18 years in which these supply chains, we will have to make away, we'll have to make do. In 1933, as we were hitting into the Great Depression, the previous smaller depression, the training wheel depression, that temporal marker marks the point where we start seeing the depression effects. And so from between 33 and 35, we get into the mass unemployment, we get into bread lines in New York that's snaked around for blocks and blocks and blocks of miles. We get into the first of the waves of starvation deaths, the initiation of the Dust Bowl, all kinds of stuff in a very short period of time. And so I expect that we're about ready to enter into that this coming May, and we'll have the problem of the depression, which is the mental aspect of understanding that the supply chains won't be coming back. So by May of next year, you'll understand that the things you used to be able to buy are simply not likely to ever be available again, in spite of promises to other people.